Today, we have the best defenders in all of FC 25. Welcome back to another episode of Pick 10, and I'm joined by a friend of the channel. We have Nate, the Foot Accountant. Are you ready?
I am so ready, Mike. Thanks for having me on once again. Let's get this list going.
Okay, last year, we put this into motion. This year, we're on a re-up, but the rules have not shifted. We're still alternating picks. You cannot repeat players. 250,000 coin for the cheap options and unlimited for the heavy hitters, and then no icons will be included. As the guest, you get to begin, and we're going to go with the budget choices. Where are you taking us?
I'm taking us to the homeland. USA left back Anthony Robinson from the Trailblazers promo. Yes.
Wow.
He's got the pace. You throw an anchor on, he's got a little bit more. I like the play styles that he's got. Long ball pass, whipped pass, necessary for getting forward a bit too. So I tried this card out right as he was released, and he was really, really good.
I like him. I support him. We both have a bias.
Yeah.
I am shocked that is your first choice because it leaves us with maybe the FIFA, the FC home stand, the guy that you have to have, an absolute staple, Virgil van Dijk.
Oh, yeah.
Virgil van Dijk has to be there. I don't care. He's down to 190,000 coins as we're recording for the gold. VVD holds it down.
He does, definitely. I mean, it's him and one other center back that I think is going to get mentioned by me here pretty quick that go in tandem all the time and are really tough to get past in weekend league.
Where are you taking us? You've teased it.
I'm taking us to France. Anticipate plus. Saliba. Has to be. He is literally everywhere, and once that man gets a promo card, I don't want to know how many millions it's going to cost because it's going to be ridiculous.
It's got to be coming soon. By December, I expect some sort of promo for Saliba. And to your point, if you're looking for W's and you want the bread and butter partnership, Virgil van Dijk and Saliba, they're both 6'4", 6'5", and they just get to everything. They have that automation on the defensive end. It's kind of frustrating, but you're not beating them. Those guys on the AI side of everything, forget about it.
Just the big body aspect too. Like, I don't know. It's something about those bigger center backs this year. The Cannavaro and those shorter guys, maybe not the best, but
I've become a complete heightist. People are getting mad at me because I'm not including any of the ladies. It has nothing to do with the ladies. It's just about the height. Cannavaro's not getting in my squad either. He's not making it. I can't do it. I can't deal with the 5'8", 5'9". It doesn't work.
Yep.
Wow. We've got options though now. It's opened up. The board has started to open up. I like this theme that we're on of center backs you're going to see every weekend league. Maybe the last gold item that I'll take. Let's go with Rudiger. He's fantastic, especially if you manually defend. He is so powerful.
Yeah, the only thing that I wish they would have kept on his card is the aerial that he had last year. I mean, I think he'd be even more of a force if he had that. What does he have now? Bruiser? Still good, but aerial plus. Whew.
Bruiser's still underrated though. I will throw that out there because if you're especially manually defending, because now you're in some of those 50-50 positions, you actually will shove them, put something through them a little bit. But I put that as a disclaimer, but I see him all the time. You're using them, I'm using them. Probably time for us to start dibbling and dabbling into some promos though. I see my list. I got a big list here.
I'm about to throw in a fullback. I'm going off the beaten path just a little bit, and he's just under the 250k price cap, but I just got him in my hero pack, and he surprised me with how good he is. Captivia, 188,000 coins at the moment. 84 pace seems low, but he just has kind of the it factor. He just wins tackles. He's got good play styles. He's got the anticipate. That might be why he does win tackles pretty often. He also has a cheeky power shot with 76 shooting. So if you ever do get forward with him, try play him kind of on a fullback role so he stays back. But he has wingback plus. I don't know. He just does everything so good. And I know like Mendy would be his competition. Maybe you're going to shout him. I don't know. But I just think that he's a nice other option if you need some more La Liga links. Played well above my expectations.
I like matching your choices and then letting the people at home decide. By the way, get in the comment section. That's a reminder. Let us know who's done better here. I'm going to take a hero as well to match your Captivia. I've preferred, and this could be a hot take, Bomb Pass 4. She just keeps reoccurring into my lineups in my teams. Maybe I just am so biased from last year, but especially on the offensive end, she's brilliant. Quick touches, overlapping runs, being able to facilitate. I'm whipping in crosses all day. I'm hammering it home.
Yeah, Bomb Pastor was a hero card that I used a lot last year. I haven't used her as much this year, but that is definitely a good shout. I'm going left back once again, but this is like ultra budget, and I still think he's one of the best left backs in this league, or the guy. I'm going Trailblazers Grimaldo. I still can't believe this card is only 28,000 coins right now. And he got his pace back, right? His gold card, everybody was so mad, minus crazy amounts of pace from previous years. Allegedly, it's because he's actually not that fast in real life. But this one, he's got the pace back. And I mean, I used him first weekend as well. He was really, really solid. I know the Bundesliga links maybe aren't as hyped at the moment, but if you're running that kind of squad, this guy's got to be in it. And for that price tag, I think you're getting a really good player.
I'd agree with you. When we're talking value, and this might end up being our cheapest choice so far. No one else is in this budget point, and I have no idea why the price dropped so tremendously. When he came out, and you would know this off the back of your hand, I know you're always running on the market, but in terms of his peak pricing when he was released, and he's in less than a week dropped down to just a fraction of that.
Yeah, he's got, if you look at the market, pages and pages and pages of supply. So, I mean, that's definitely one of the reasons why he's down so much, but I don't think I ever would have guessed this card under 50K even looking at his stats, but here he is under 30,000 coins. So I think that's a great value card and very good in game.
If you're allowed, I have a slider choice that I'd like to activate.
Let's hear it.
I think Diogo Dalot has to be in action here. He's maybe 260, 270 in that range.
Yeah.
So just over the 250K, but I think he deserves a mention, and I also believe his price tag will be reducing long term.
Yeah.
And he'll fall into this category, but amazing, huge upgrade, best he's ever been.
Yeah, that's a really good Prem card. He can play on the left and the right, right?
Correct. Both sides. I should have mentioned that, but you got me covered. I appreciate it.
I don't know why this card's still kind of inflated in value. A lot of people had the evolution version of him, Dalot, at the start of the game from that club member evolution for right back. So nonetheless, a very, very good card. I'm going to take us to the cheapest option yet. I know that Grimaldo was pretty cheap, but for those that are starting out fresh and need somebody real cheap, I've got a multifaceted player here for the cheapest option yet. Trailblazers Mingueza. He's only 17K, 88 pace. He can play center back and right back. He's got decent play styles, evolution possibility in the future as well. He got a roll plus plus as a right back in the false back role, which I find very useful, at least for some formations that I play. And he's not insane, but for 17K right now, that's a pretty crazy card.
I'm going to make you spend more money on my end. We've left off plenty of big names here, so I look forward to the comments. There's a lot of preference, and I will say this on record, this is the most amount of quality defenders I think we've ever seen at this price point this early on. For under 250K, the amount of center backs, maybe not the same quantity in terms of fullbacks, but the amount of center backs in particular is through the roof. It's almost everyone, unless it's one of the big promos or it's an icon. Even quite a few of the heroes are going to fall into this budget. And I said all that to go with a man that I did not expect to be so darn good. Brema. What is going on? And we're going to take the inform here, which is up to about 190, 195K. The Brazilian has never had this level of impact or presence before. Even his 86 to start the year was way better than anything that we had seen.
He's in my team. I'm still rocking gold Bremer, partially because I don't like spending too many coins on my team, but he is a beast. And again, big body center back, but yeah, the inform, great shout. The gold, great shout. He's awesome.
And that wraps up our cheap options. So now we're going to go into the high rollers, the unlimited spend. And as per usual, you get to begin. Make it count.
You actually took a player that you just mentioned off of my high list. I'll just give him a quick shout. Trailblazers Bremer. That card's got to be incredible. He's a whopping 530,000 coins right now. Can imagine he's a beast. But since he's already off the list, I'm going to go with a right back who sometimes uses a CDM, but I think a lot of people use him as a right back too. Very heavily used in the pro scene. Trent Alexander-Arnold, rush card for the whipped pass plus, 91 passing. It's Trent too. You know he's going to be good. I have not used him, but every time I've come up against him, he does numbers.
I have used him for multiple weekends, and I'm very surprised at how good he was with the physicality. That would have always been the critique, that he was almost an in-betweener. And I felt that he was really good in the midfield. I used him as a fullback as well, but mostly as a midfielder. The passing is going to line up. So I was impressed. This is probably one of his better items. And that leads me into, where do I want to go? What direction? If you're taking a fullback, I can do better. You're going to have to spend for it. Teo Hernandez, the inform. He's going to be over 1 million coins, but that'll be my first round choice to try to match your fullback. I think he's the best in the game in that position as it stands. This year, he's just been something different. A little saucy, a little more gravy, second helpings. Apparently, I'm hungry, and I'm just going to use analogies around food. We could talk appetizers if you like, or desserts. It doesn't matter. He comes with everything. It's an all-conclusive, I was going to say all-conclusive, all-inclusive resort with everything you asked for. But I don't know. He's never been this good. I can't. We could go through the stats. We could talk about rapid this. We could talk about the pace. We could talk about, he's just way better. Even his passing, his defending, he's just better than it's ever been.
He got that massive physical boost from last year's card too, and he's got the bruiser. I think there's a reason why he's still 400 plus K, and his inform is like 1 million coins more than his gold. He's just him. You took one off the board for me. Moving into another fullback though. This is a guy that I used. He's a live card. Hopefully a couple more upgrades to come. I'm going with Frimpong, the Road to the Knockouts version. Straight up pace. He doesn't have a playstyle plus, but there's just something about his pace and how quick he moves in game. I know people used his gold card early on, but this card, when I tried him out too, was He was just lightning fast, and he wasn't that bad physically. Like, he's kind of small, so he could just kind of get under people and take the ball still. I mean, the price tag's a lot. He does upgrade. Very good card.
And I was thinking, will there be an opportunity with an Evo at some point? I don't know if you do it unless you pack them, because of course it would make them untradeable, to throw on a playstyle plus. And Frimpong, I've always thought of being bouncy. Something about a little more electric. He's just quick with his feet and his movement, and there's some more mobility to him. He feels like a winger that plays defense. He's a special player out wide. I really like that Frimpong. He was on my list as well. If we're going fullbacks, I'd like to continue then. Maicon. I think we have to talk about it. The new Brazilian. He is an all-arounder, and if you are one of the lovely folks that got to pack him, because there's a lot of you, I saw it on social media, he has been outstanding. And if anything, I just wish EA maybe gave him a little bit of more of the razzle-dazzle with the skills, but I don't have a lot to critique. Everything's authentic, and he feels boosted. I've always felt that heroes and icons sometimes get a little bit of something extra, especially early on in games, but this year it's been really evident. The price tags also support that. We've never seen such an expensive variety of heroes.
Wow, the icons and hero prices this year have gone up a lot. I think part of that is due to the amount of coins that they're giving out, but it's definitely created some insane prices on the heroes and the icons, and I think that Maicon's a great shout. I do agree with you on the skills, but you know, EA, they're probably saving that for a later upgraded version in a promo.
I just want to know how Pirlo convinced them that he has 5-star skills. I know that was in a contract where Pirlo's probably talking to his agent saying, look, if they're going to put me in the game, I got to have some capability. And his agent worked that in, because there's no disrespect. Pirlo had a fantastic first touch. He was easy to watch. He had a certain cadence, but I don't think anyone would describe him as a skiller. Dedicated skiller.
Yeah, that's an interesting one for sure. It's like they gave the skills to him, but they didn't give the skills to some other guys who really deserved it too. A little bit of mismatch. All right, going for my next choice, I'm headed back to a center half. I'm going with the Varane SBC. I remember when I saw this dropped, I was literally on the golf course. It was on a Saturday, and I was like, this card is going to be in my team probably until Team of the Year, just because Varane is somebody that is always good. I know this is the end of an era version, probably the last version that we'll see of Varane. I had to get him done, and I think a lot of people are seeing that he's very good. The one problem is the stamina, but the intercept plus, the height that he has.
I've always felt that Varane doesn't play by the rules, even in previous installments. We could sit there and pull up his stats and try to analyze, but he always had terrible balance and agility, but the man was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I've always been confused by Varane since the beginning of time. So this item, of course, been fantastic. If you completed him, he was expensive though. I will say that. I want to say maybe 400,000 or 500,000 coins. It's a hefty amount, especially after we went over some of the cheaper options with availabilities that you have, but he is the real deal. I don't want to take that away from him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's about time we got a center back on this side. We've had 2 fullbacks. I'm looking at, again, a big number. I feel as if Lucio has to be mentioned. Another hero that's got a lot of experience. He's got that perk. He's added some secret stat lines. I just think Lucio's has him.
Yeah, I have not used this card. I've traded with it, and he fluctuates a lot, but I think that's because there's a lot of people that are wanting those center back capabilities, and maybe the Brazilian links too. Great card. I'm going to go with a very expensive center half as well. This guy's gold card destroys me. The Araujo Road to the Knockouts. He's 900,000 coins, which I think is overpriced because he's gone up tons in the last week or two. About to get a +2 upgrade as well. That card, I just can't get around him. Maybe it's like the hair in game. The color, is it still blue? It used to be blue, but luckily haven't come up against the Road to Knockouts yet. Probably will soon, but that card's just a menace.
Absolute beast, no doubt about it. This might be the best selection of golds that have been usable for center backs. I mean, these are top level players. This is quite a selection or a grouping of center backs that even if you played them right now, no problems, no questions asked, good enough for the weekend league or better. Okay, starting to get some center backs. I like that. I'm gonna go back-to-back heroes. New hero, Yapstam, has basically everything you could ask for in terms of building out the right, I was gonna say traits, but the right play styles. He's going to push people for fun. He might shove your parents. You got to keep him from a distance away. I don't know. Yapstam just comes with that type of intimidation.
Yeah, kind of like the VVD, I don't know, the older VVD, if you will. Kind of similar, both Dutch and both just absolute tanks. And especially in this game, very, very meta.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
You know what? Serie A hasn't got enough love. I know we've mentioned a couple of players from the Serie A, but I think there's another Serie A defender that needs mentioning. Big body. Last year had a Team of the Season card that really exploded under the scene, is very meta. Trailblazers, Bastoni. 390,000 coins. He's got the Anticipate Plus. And again, just like a lot of these center backs that we're mentioning, a tank. He's big enough. He's got great defending stats, very high physical as well, and even has sneaky good dribbling and passing too. I think that's very necessary. 86 long pass and 82 short pass. I like all of the facets of that card. I'd love to get my hands on him to upgrade my gold Bremer.
I'm tired of the disrespect from Bastoni. I don't know why, but even last year with some of the upgrades, he was never priced out of the conversation. And this year you can get him as well. I don't want to say discount, but cheaper than where he really should be.
True.
And I don't know if that's a Serie A discount. I don't know if the community is not supporting the Italians. I'm not sure what it is, but he's definitely official. I highly recommend using him. And you went Serie A, I'm going to go the exact same direction. And you can mix and match, and there might be a preference choice here. But that new Tamori, at 86 overall, I instantly put him into broken. I think he's fantastic. Again, the amount of options you have, at least for center backs.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think we're in need of, like, you know, maybe in previous years we've had a Zambrata SBC, some kind of right back or left back, an SBC that you could just grind and craft and then not have to think about it for a while.
And what a shot was Zambrata. Perfect example player. And he can play as a left back and a right back. But currently on the market, he's over 700,000 coins.
Yeah.
And that's because they don't have options at fullbacks that perform at this utmost degree or the highest levels. Don't get me wrong, Zambrata's good. He's got solid proof of concept and track record, but that is still well above what you would anticipate as his normal price. And it's just because we don't have the same amount of options.
Last year at this time, Zambrata was 400,000 coins, and this year 700 plus. So totally agree with that. And that just shows the state of those positions and the game.
I'm so happy you had that ready. I knew you would. I kind of like threw it out there, and I had a feeling you might have them ready on the price tags.
You lobbed it up.
Alley-oops, you know, Blake Griffin.
Hey, yes.
Okay, so that wraps up our choices. Are there any players that we forgot? I always like to, you know, do a little quick fire at the end.
Actually, I think there's two maybe names that we could have talked more about now that I think about it. Van de Ven with the inform. You're probably more in the budget version, but that's a card that I'm seeing a lot of, and it's all about the pace with him. And then Militao also has an inform. And just, again, more proof to what you were saying before. So many options at center back.
When I think of cheap options, I wanted to take them too. I was really close to it. But Di Lorenzo, incredible SBC, would definitely give him utmost approval. We didn't talk about maybe DeMarco.
Yeah.
I think DeMarco was an interesting pickup, also can upgrade. We're going expensive. I mean, we really knocked it out. A lot of the players that were on my list, you took them or it came out. The only guy I had left was maybe Vincent Kompany, who's kind of become secondary to Lucio.
Here's a quick question for you. Would you shout the Malo Gusto card? 600K. I've always felt like he was overvalued, but have you used that card? And what would you rate him in your list as well, or is he just not cutting it for the price?
I have used him, but I think the price turned off some people. He's been expensive since the beginning. I think he's really good. Like,
Okay.
I don't want to take that away from anyone. Some of these players were also priced based on potential of upgrades.
Oh, totally.
It's hard because I make so many of these videos around list and ranking and tiers, and I want to talk about what they are currently. I don't want to build in the evaluation, and also many of the videos that we make on this channel aren't always about value. This one has a clear price target situation, but I make a lot of content where I'm telling you this is the best option. I'm just not telling you that maybe it's a good price.
Yep.
But I'm not going to take away from the performance. A good example would be someone like Pateas, who has a player of the month that recently came out. She is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
She also had a change in play styles where she has Tiki Taka, which is an upgraded play style for her. But I'm not telling you to go spend the 1.3 or 1.4 million coins on that SBC. I think it's a bad return. I would just go to the market. But she is still incredible.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those that if you don't see an SBC that you like in the next couple of weeks, she's out for a month, so you could just slowly chip away at that one, not really hurt your coin total too much, play the game, get the rewards, get the fodder to put that SBC into action, and then you get that player forever. And I mean, that's a card that would be usable well into even the new year as well.
No doubt about it. So you guys let us know in the comment section if you've not subscribed to Nate or you're not following him on the live streams, and you can pick a platform. They're all available, and this man is so consistent. I'm always watching your stuff in the mornings. I tell you every time.
Legend.
It's part of my morning routine. I appreciate you coming on, and as always, we'll have a lot more content coming out ASAP.